Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. Or if you are new here, hi, my name is Violetta Alexis, and I am a professional tarot reader and I dabble in astrology. I'm going to be taking a look with a tarot astrology fusion when it comes to this weekend. Okay, specifically the Mars square Uranus transit that I'm looking at. Mars is the planet of action and determination and war and fighting, and Uranus is the planet of rebellion and shock and change. And these two planets coming together, especially being that Mars is in Aquarius and the ruler of Aquarius is Uranus, which is in Taurus, it very much makes me feel like the Mars, like wherever Mars is transiting in your chart right now, it makes me feel like there's somebody or something who's trying to get somebody else's goat, or somebody who's trying to ruffle some feathers with another person, or trying to fight for something. But where Mars is, the ruling planet is Uranus, which is what Mars is kind of fighting with. And I find it pretty interesting. It almost makes me feel like Mars is in the territory of Uranus, but like challenging the entirety of it. Challenging the authenticity maybe in some way. And, Uranus is, gonna light up like a match and flip out, and so this isn't the best for maintaining the status quo or the peace. This to me is more so about fighting for what we believe in, and to the point of a rebelliousness a little bit. So I am going to incorporate tarot and astrology with this, and of course we're going to start out with Aries, and then we're going to make it all the way through to Pisces. So keep in mind that there will be timestamps available, there will be chapters available, and make sure that you look for your sign. Of course, whether you are here for your rising sign, which is obviously going to be the most accurate when it comes to astrology, being that this is tarot, you can still watch for your sun, moon, rising, Venus, and Jupiter placements. Also, if you would like to know how this weekend might be specifically playing out for you, you can book a reading with me at violetaalexis.com. Obviously, all of that information is available in the description box below. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Hello, Aries rising most accurately when it comes to astrology, but regardless, for the tarot for this weekend, you could check Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter placements. So if we're just talking about the astrology alone, you guys are having Mars in your 11th house of friends, groups, networks, communities, dreams, aspirations, square Uranus in your second house of values, the money that you make, and your self-worth and your self-esteem. Mars rules you, so whatever Mars is doing is kind of what you're doing. And Mars also rules your 8th house of change, transformation, fears, and other people's resources. And so I'm kind of wondering here if somebody maybe owes you money. For some of you, I could see this as somebody owing you money. Maybe it's a friend. Maybe you owe somebody money. I could see that as well. I could see this as somebody on social media, or somebody even that you're friends with is challenging you and your sense of self-worth and your sense of self-value. And, I'm almost getting like, for some of you, it's almost as if somebody's like expecting that you owe them something, or someone's getting this sense of entitlement, because let's keep in mind that while yes, it's Aquarius, the opposite sign of Aquarius is Leo, right? And that's all about the ego. And Aquarius is quite similar to Leo. They're just trying to go about things in a different way. And so I'm kind of feeling like there's somebody here who's feeling entitled to something that you have. And maybe somebody, you're going after your dreams and your hopes and your wishes, and somebody like wants a piece of the pie, they're trying to piggyback off of you, or something like that. But I could definitely see this as you kind of charging forth, and you trying to change or challenge the status quo in some way based around your own personal values. So I am going to go ahead and take a look at the tarot and see what the tarot has to say. Okay. So, what we have here is we have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Knight of Cups in reverse. And the Five of Pentacles. So yeah, this could definitely be like financial. Okay, so there could be something where maybe you felt like you know, a friend got you into a bad investment, and you're like, well, that was a fucking waste of time, and then you like lost out on money, and now you're in a mood. You know, Knight of Cups in reverse. But let's go ahead and take a look. Tell me about that Seven of Pentacles. The two, yeah, Seven of Pentacles in reverse with the Two of Pentacles. This is maybe after, you know, and I hate to say that, right? But this is maybe realizing that for some of you, it just could be that you went out with friends too much, and then you woke up the next day and you're like, holy shit, my pocketbook. So I kind of want to say during this weekend, please be cautious of the money that you are spending, because you may be like, oh my God, I got to get back to my balancing my checkbook, you know? So just kind of like a lesson learned type of vibe here. I heard side note. Okay, I don't know what that means. Give me one more. There's something that you're very emotionally driven by, but there's also something that is emotionally upsetting to you. And I don't know if this is somebody that you are actually romantically involved with. You know, I'm not sure what it is, but it looks to me like it's not just one person. To me, this is, there's something that you're standing up for. Seven of Wands. There's something that you're standing up for. There's something that you're standing up against, or someone you're standing up against that is kind of getting your goat a little bit, and it's making you feel like you have to defend yourself in some way. And this could be over love, absolutely, but I could also see this as some kind of like creative breakthrough. So if you have been you know, kind of having like a creative block in some way, maybe somebody challenges you or somebody gets you emotionally charged, and you know, you take off like a bat out of hell, and all of a sudden you write like the best song you've ever written. Or you know, I could see that happening as well, especially considering that Mars is in the planet, Mars is in the house of your dreams and your aspirations. So, you know, and then when Mars hits Pisces, you might start getting real creative. So it could be something like that. Okay. Now let's take a look at that Five of Pentacles, the Page of Swords. Give me another one. The Lovers. Interesting. Well, I kind of want to say like lesson learned with something this weekend. Something is kind of making you feel a little down and out, or you're kind of feeling like something's missing, or maybe you lost out on a little bit of money, or you spent too much money, or something like that. And it could also be love, so you know, keep that in mind. It could be somebody else. um it could be like maybe even a friend is trying to, or you're trying to get with a friend, you know, like romantically or something like that. And maybe there's some rejection there, or vice versa. I could see that happening. You know, because Mars also rules your eighth house of intimacy and fears as well. And so there could be some fears around intimacy that maybe you're working through. And intimacy doesn't always have to mean sex. You know, intimacy can mean like being intimate, being vulnerable with another person. And so I feel like you are looking for maybe more creative ways to express that, and get into that energy a little bit. Your advice is Scorpio. Speaking of Mars, distance, and you and your loved ones are safe. So I feel like this is a lot to do with vulnerability. Okay, you know, Scorpio is your eighth house, right? And then with distance there, and then you and your loved ones are safe. This is new moon in Cancer, so a new beginning in regards to your vulnerability, your sense of expressing emotion, and however you do that, whether that is through, you know, the essence of creativity or through another person or whatever, I feel like you're gonna have a breakthrough. And I might feel kind of like fucky. Not like actual like sex. Might kind of feel a little fucky, right? A little squirrely. But I think that you're gonna learn a lot about yourself, and I think that you're gonna learn a lot about others. Okay. So Aries, thank you so much. Make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not. Also, if you'd like to see how this weekend is playing out for you, you can visit my website at violettaalexis.com and book a reading with me. Thank you guys so much for being a subscriber, and thank you for watching. Until next time. Hello, Taurus. Rising most accurately per the astrology specifically, but you can still watch for your sun, moon, rising, Venus, and Jupiter placements, just if you kind of want to see what's going on with the tarot for you this weekend, okay? So, Taurus, especially Taurus rising, you guys are having a Mars square Uranus. Now, obviously, you guys know since 2018, you've had Uranus in your sign. So, there's been a lot of shakeups and a lot of change, and Uranus is essentially asking you to be more authentic to you, being more true to yourself. Now, with Mars here in your 10th house of career career, reputation, and your status. Mars rules your 12th house and also your 7th house. I kind of feel like you have a public challenge going on. I'm just going to be 100% honest with you. It feels to me like there's maybe a masculine figure or a partner, or a client, or a hidden enemy that kind of comes out of nowhere and is trying to challenge you, is trying to challenge your sense of authenticity and challenge who you are, and are you who you say you are? I could see that happening, and it's essentially challenging how you're showing up in the world. It's challenging how you're showing up online or something like that. And so I feel like there's a little bit of this. No, now Venus is there, so she's kind of softening things a little bit, right? But Mars is still Mars, right? And so I feel like a lot of you guys are, this could bring up some subconscious fears or some subconscious wounds, because Mars does rule your 12th house of the subconscious. But I do feel like it's going to be unexpected. And I do feel like it's going to help you see your blind spot, or make you really see who's there for you and who's not in your time of need, Taurus. So if anything, it's filtering out the fake from the real. Okay. And also doing that to you. Okay. So let's take a look. We have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, the Four of Pentacles in reverse, and the Fool in reverse. Well, there's Uranus, lighting up like a match. I feel like this is triggering some kind of insecurities with that Queen of Pentacles in reverse. With that Four of Pentacles in reverse, this is likely around, you finally letting go of something, an old way of doing something, is something like that. Now, I want to say be cautious of your actions at this time, especially with that square to Uranus. Uranus is in your first house of self, right? Your Uranus is in your sign. So you're not going to want to change. You're not going to want to listen to what somebody else has to say. You're definitely going to bump some elbows. You're going to bump some shoulders. And I don't think you're going to be afraid to do so. So, so just be cautious of your actions around this time, okay? We have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse with the Ace of Pentacles. Oh, and the King of Pentacles. There's that masculine energy. Some kind of missed opportunity between you and another individual. Um, some kind of masculine energy in your life. Taurus is about finances. So maybe somebody's like kind of challenging you in some way, but it can also be about your self-worth and your sense of self-value. I feel like you have somebody here who is like trying to help you, or who is committed to you in some way, but it's almost like you're rejecting it, or like, I don't want your help, or like, I don't, I don't care what you have to say. I don't know. I don't think this person necessarily has bad intentions, but you may feel that way because of how much they're challenging you, or you may feel that way because this could be somebody that you've had a missed opportunity with, okay? Um, be careful of your finances taking a hit at this time, and it could be because of how you're reacting in like the workplace, or how you're acting in a public setting that can make like clients kind of be like, oh, I don't know if so be cautious of that. You have the Four of Pentacles in reverse with the Ace of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles. Wow. Well, look at that. Okay. So this to me is like some bright idea that maybe you're having when it comes to your legacy, when it comes to how you're showing up in the world, and when it comes to who you want to be and the legacy that you do want to leave behind. And there could be some kind of conversation that you're having with another person, or there could be some kind of idea that you're having that is making you realize exactly how you're going to get to the end of the road. And it seems to me like you're finally taking a chance. So I think after being challenged by somebody, or something kind of showing up out of nowhere, and getting your goat a little bit, I feel like this is actually giving you some kind of idea or inspiration, because keep in mind that squares to Uranus can also be fucking breakthroughs. When every time I have Venus square Uranus going on, I'm always having some creative breakthrough or something. Now, of course, Mars is a little bit more harsh, right? But it still can be a breakthrough nonetheless, and it can cause you to break out of old patterns. Okay, especially relating to like your legacy, or your wealth, or your sense of value. Okay, and so it's like now it's asking you to change, like, or do you want this career thing? Do you want to blow up on social media? I don't know. What is the thing? It's asking you to change. And so I feel like a lot of you guys are going to take the chance to do so. Then we have the Fool in reverse with the Temperance and the Nine of Wands. Yeah, I mean, definitely standing your ground with something. I see that the Fool is in reverse. Now, The Fool in reverse can be like, we are taking action on something without thinking about any other people, anybody else's, uh, like what anybody else thinks. And that can be a good thing, right? So, the Temperance is, sorry guys, I'm still kind of sick. The Temperance is like, okay, what can we create after a long time, after battling? The Nine of Wands is like after a long time of fighting and battling and being challenged, finally coming out on top. And you're maybe okay. You've maybe kind of settled down by Sunday where you're like, okay, we're having that new moon in Pisces, where maybe it's making you realize how you actually want to show up in the world, what has already passed, you being okay with that Temperance, and what is it that you want to create from here on out. You have Square, well, anomaly, interesting, and have faith in your dreams. So like, what do you want? Right? Now I'm hearing Ryan Gosling in The Notebook. What do you want? What do you want? Right? If you haven't seen that movie, you're living under a rock. But this is a challenge. It's saying that there's a challenge to what? An anomaly. You notice that you see this white crow amongst all of these black crows, and it reminds me of that tweet that I wrote where I said I am an owl in a forest full of blue jays. And it's like, don't be ashamed of that. You know what I mean? Like, don't be ashamed that you're a little different or you're a little weird. And a lot of the times we realize it's our quirks and it's our differences, not our similarities, that separate us from the crowd, that make us reach our dreams. So don't be afraid of that. So, Taurus, thank you guys so much. Make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not. If you would like to see how this weekend is playing out for you, you can book a tarot reading with me at violettaalexis.com. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm wishing you an awesome weekend. Bye for now. Hello, Gemini rising. Most accurate for the astrology will be rising, but if you just want to watch for the tarot portion, you can check for your sun, moon, rising, Venus, and Jupiter placement. So, Gemini rising specifically, you can also apply to your sun and your moon, but you guys are going to be having this Mars square Uranus. Mars squaring in your ninth house, squaring Uranus in your 12th house. So, Mars does rule your sixth house, and it also rules your 11th house. I'm kind of wondering here if somebody is challenging you in some kind of like legal setting. It could be that maybe some information comes out or something like that, and you're kind of going into battle with another person. Now, of course, I'm not trying to scare you or anything like that, but it could be that maybe you are initiating this. For others of you, it could be that there's somebody here who's challenging your sense of beliefs, a mentor, a friend, Mars ruling your 11th house, challenging what it is that you believe to be about yourself or your own sense of spirituality, how you've been getting in your own way, how you've been sabotaging yourself in some way. I could definitely see this as like you finding out that like a mentor or a father figure or something is in jail. Okay. Of course, it doesn't have to be that. So keep that in mind. But I see that this can also be maybe a crisis of faith a little bit. And Mars also ruling your sixth house. This is like challenging your patterns and your habits and your behaviors and how that has really screwed you over in the end. And so I feel like this is about us breaking free of those subconscious patterns. Maybe things that you've been doing for years, that you don't even realize, right? Or it could even be a talent where you have a breakthrough. The 12th house can be our hidden talents. Maybe you're having some kind of like revelation or breakthrough where there's a mentor or a friend or something that happens, or you're chasing a dream and you have this breakthrough of like what your higher purpose is, and feeling optimistic about it. But it's about kind of getting out of your own way first in order to pursue those things. So it doesn't always have to be something so humdrum and terrible, right? It can also be breakthroughs. That's what Uranus is all about. So let's go ahead and take a look at the tarot. All right. We have the Three of Wands. We have the Judgment in reverse. And we have the Justice. So it's like it's almost like you're waiting on something to happen. You could be kind of doing some things behind the scenes. You could be doing some spiritual practice behind the scenes, trying to kind of figure out, where you need to lay your hat when am I a Christian? Am I a pagan? Am I, it can be something like that. But you're waiting to pursue something with that Judgment in reverse. I'm kind of feeling like this is you not wanting to look at the past, because the 12th house can also be about the past. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to think about it, right? It's like, who really wants to think about their past? But I feel like it's necessary for you in order to break free of something. Either way, you're, because if not, you're going to take the past with you. With that Justice card, yeah, it could be a legality. Okay, maybe you're initiating it. I have no idea. But I see this more as you finally finding balance, come Sunday, come Monday, where you're like, oh my God, okay, I get it. I understand why that thing had to happen. I understand why I had that crisis of faith. It's kind of about like knowing that everything is going to work in your favor, understanding that things happen and they happen in order to teach us lessons. I think a little bit of faith is going to go a long way with you coming this weekend. Okay. So let's take a look at that Three of Wands with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse and the Emperor. Well, I mean, there's Aries energy, it's really about, I think for some of you, you've tried to detach from your self-worth or self-value issues, feeling like you aren't enough in some way. But I think that you're starting to realize that. I think that you're having a breakthrough where you're realizing my own sense of self-worth, or me feeling like I have to do too much for others all the time in order to prove myself or in order to prove something, isn't really helping me. So this is excuse me. This is double Mars energy here with that Three of Wands and the Emperor. And Venus is there. Venus is hanging out with Mars. They're not conjunct anymore, but Venus is hanging out with Mars trying to make everything better. And so I feel like this is kind of Venus trying to make you see that a little bit of faith can actually go a long way. And then we have the Judgment in reverse with the Wheel of Fortune and the Three of Cups. So Mars does rule your 11th house of friends, groups, networks, communities, things like that. And I feel like you guys not wanting to look at something, or not wanting to look at the past, or not wanting to make a decision about something specifically, is kind of holding you back in some way. And I feel like you're going to have somebody who kind of breaks you free from that. And it could be somebody who, maybe it's an older sibling, that can be the 11th house. Maybe it's some kind of mentor or guru that is showing up as a friend, because sometimes people don't realize that they're mentors or gurus in our life. They just are, right? Like, I know my best friend is. And so I feel like you're getting in touch with people maybe behind the scenes, or people are getting in touch with you and challenging you to break free of these patterns and to let go of the wheel. And I think that it's benefiting you in some way, and you're likely having a breakthrough because of it. We have the Justice here with the Eight of Wands in reverse and the Devil in reverse. Interesting. Well, the devil can definitely represent like our toxic habits, our toxic patterns, our fears. This can all be 12th house stuff, and us needing to essentially face those fears in some way. And I feel like there's finally the decision that you've been holding back on making for a really long time, because you realize if you don't make this decision, and you know what it is, whatever it is, I know that you know what it is. And if you don't make this decision, that's what's blocking. That's what's going to block you. And so maybe this is about you needing to choose yourself. Maybe this is about you needing to remove something out of your life. But whatever it is, it's going to force you to break these patterns, whether you like it or not. So it's like, you can go kicking and screaming, or you can go willingly. We have Virgo, which does talk about our habits. Memory, okay, talks about the past, and prosperity lies ahead, new moon in Taurus. So I'm feeling like double earth energy here. I'm feeling like this is asking you, how has your past contributed to the habits that you have now? And what can you do to change them? And sometimes it's as simple as, taking one step and trying to do that same step for the course of 28 days, right? Something like that. Even if it's like, I don't want to be on social media as much anymore because it's frying my fucking brain, and I'm not getting in touch with myself, and I'm not getting in touch with my own sense of spirituality and creativity. And maybe it's about you waking up every day, and the first thing that you don't do is you're not going on your phone. It's like, you know what I'm saying? And it doesn't have to be something like that, but ask how your trauma, or the things from the past that you don't want to access, that you don't want to look at, is actually holding you back from prosperity. Okay. So thank you so much, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter placements. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not. If you would like to know how this transit may be playing out for you this weekend, you can book a tarot reading with me at violettaalexis.com. All of that information is available down below in the description box. Thank you guys so much, and I hope that you have a beautiful weekend. Talk soon. Bye for now. Hello, Cancer rising, which will be most accurate for the astrology portion, but Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter placements for the tarot. Welcome. We're going to be talking about the Mars square, the Mars square Uranus that is taking place this weekend. It's going to be super prominent on Saturday, but we're going to feel this the whole weekend. So you guys are going to be having Mars in your 8th house, square Uranus in your 11th house. This to me is you guys really working through your fears, your deep sense of fears when it comes to going after your dreams, going after your aspirations. Maybe there's some kind of group or community that you want to join, and you're afraid because you feel like you have some kind of imposter syndrome, like you don't belong in some way, but your honest is like, no, fucking, like, you belong, like, get out of your way, get break through your psychological veil, break through of your fears, and go after the things that you want. Surround yourself with people that are authentic to who you are. And for some of you, you may be surrounded by people that are not authentic to you. And so there could be a change, there could be a change in regards to some kind of dream or aspiration or community or friend group that you're a part of. I could definitely see this as well because Mars does rule your 5th house. I could see this as being like a very sexy time. It could be that you meet somebody like through a friend group or online or something like that, and it could be a very intimate relationship that you're having with another person. So keep that in mind. But this is definitely, and Venus is there as well, so Venus is trying to like warm things up a little bit, trying to make things a little extra cozy and saucy. And so I'm not mad at it, but I do feel like there's going to be some things that you're breaking free from, and maybe there's something that you're working on with another person when it comes to creativity that you're actually trying to put out there, because Mars also does rule your 10th house. And I feel like your reputation is also going to be changing in some way, but it's about going after the things that you want and not letting fear hold you back. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look. Yeah, 9 of Swords in reverse. 8 of Swords. Yeah, there are those fears, the Magician. So, I mean, Cancer, stop feeling so insecure, about your own talents, gifts, skills, and abilities, or stop being so meek, or stop feeling like you have to hide, or who knows, whatever. But I feel like there are some insecurities here that are holding you back, and you're just kind of sitting there because of a fear of not fitting in, or a fear of imposter syndrome, or whatever it may be. And that Magician is like, no, you literally have everything that you could possibly fucking need in order to make something happen for yourself, and to change how people perceive you, or to finally put yourself out there and be like, this is me, in a creative way, for some of you. Okay. And for some of you, it could be that maybe you're changing your relationship status, I'm wondering, or there's something going on with like a partner's resources, or it could just be like money that you're owed in some way, or it could be that you owe somebody else money, so keep that in mind. But let's see, that 9 of Swords in reverse, 10 of Swords in reverse, ooh, the Star in reverse. So this could be some deep psychological healing that is really needing to happen when it comes to intimacy and how you deal with vulnerability and your fears around intimacy and other people. um Mars doesn't mind being in the 8th house, right? Because on a general chart, Scorpio is in the 8th house, right? And so Mars rules Scorpio. So, and while I understand that Aquarius is taking up your 8th house, Mars still doesn't mind being in the 8th house. Mars is very familiar there. Mars knows how to maneuver through there. And so there could be somebody here that is trying to, it could be a younger person, it could be somebody that you're intimate with, I don't know, but I feel like there's a real deep-seated need for healing around this, and whatever it is that you can't overcome. Um, um, I want to say creativity can be, very prominent around this time, or, maybe there is, um, some kind of therapist that you're speaking to, or even a friend that maybe you're talking to that's going to kind of help you with some kind of breakthrough. With Mars in the 8th squaring Uranus in the 11th, there could be a friend who's like, dude, get out of your fucking shell. Like, snap out of it, and I could see this kind of happening in some way. So then we have the 8 of Swords, 5 of Swords in reverse. Oh, dear God. Page of Pentacles in reverse. Woo. I heard them's is fighting words, and I got that from Beyond the Veil astrology. But it seems like you're very stuck on feeling like I can just never win. I just can never win, feeling like everything is just constantly a loss. Well, if that's how you feel and that's how you want to think, then that's exactly what it's going to be. You can take something from everything, and I truly believe that. And it's a personal choice on whether or not you do that. I think with that 8 of Swords, you're kind of stuck in your own head, and it's kind of like this. I'm not gonna lie, like breaking out the violin a little bit. um, but I think that creativity or a lover or another person is really going to help you through this time. Okay, I'm not saying it has to be all like humdrum. It doesn't have to be that dramatic. But I mean, with what I'm saying, it looks like you're having a hard time overcoming something. Then we have the Magician, 7 of Cups, and the 2 of Cups in reverse. Wow, that's a very creative energy to me. So this to me makes me feel like you're dealing with maybe a little bit of heartbreak, illusions. We have a lot going on in Pisces. We're going to have a lot going on in Pisces. And I know that the 7 of Cups is Venus and Scorpio, but it gives me that Neptunian feel of dreams and illusions, and, um, even just using that Piscean energy to the best of your ability, I want to say. Now, of course, Pisces rules your ninth house. So, it can be around faith. Maybe you're going to end up taking a trip for some of you, going to church or focusing on meditation practices or working with some kind of mentor, maybe. But to me, this is you kind of realizing like, okay, you know what? I have other options, or I need to delve into my fantasy life a little bit, and I need to work on my creativity and whatever it is, regardless of this disconnect that I feel maybe with another person or even with self. And I think that a lot of you guys, the Magician is also mental energy because it's mercurial. And so I feel like psychologically, you guys taking a talent, gift, skill, and an ability, and actually working through these hard times, or the psychological transformation through that. Speaking of transformation, here's Pluto for your advice. Insight, yeah, is going to give you some insights. A new romantic cycle begins. So for some of you, it could be that a new relationship is on its way in some way, but I feel like you have to work through whatever this is first. Okay. Pluto is death, transformation, not literal. It can be, but not literally. Like the death of an old cycle. And it might be around your perspective and how you're seeing things. And so, with all of that energy going into Pisces, it's like this is going to change your perspective, whether you like it or not. And whether this is a partner that you're renewing something with, or whether this is a brand new partner, I feel like your perspective, excuse me, your perspective has to change before anything else does. Okay. So thank you so much, Cancer. Make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you would like to know how this transit might be working out for you, you can book a tarot reading with me at violettaalexis.com. All that information is in the description box below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope you have the best weekend ever. Talk soon. Bye for now. Hello, Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter placements, especially Rising if you're just looking for the astrology, but all the rest of the placements if you're just looking for the tarot, okay? Welcome. We're obviously going to be talking about the Mars square Uranus. So you guys are going to be having Mars in your 7th house of Aquarius, and it's going to be squaring Uranus, which is the depositor of this transit, in your 10th house of career, reputation, and your status. Mars does rule your 4th house of home and family in the past, and it also rules your 9th house of your belief systems, legalities, third marriages, you know, and God and faith and even your higher purpose and your sense of optimism. And so with Mars there in your seventh house, you know, you may have a family member or a partner that is challenging you, that is challenging how you're showing up in the world. You know, there could be an opponent even, somebody who is, you know, feels competitive with you in some way and is trying to challenge you in your sense of authenticity and how you're showing up in the world. If you are in some kind of committed partnership, I can see this as another person coming in and trying to challenge the status of your relationship. I could see that as well, but I could also see this as a family member or a partner or a client or somebody here who is maybe even challenging, coming in with their beliefs and their faith and what they believe in, and their kind of self-righteousness and their own authenticity, and kind of trying to square up with, are you who you say you are, kind of thing. And so I could see that. It could be you and a client that is at odds. It could just be that maybe you're super busy, you know, and you have a lot going on and you can't really take on this many clients and somebody is upset about it. But this can also be somebody that you're working with that is helping you have some kind of breakthrough when it comes to your status, your reputation, and your career. And when I see like the square to Uranus, I see potential for breakthrough, and squares already bring the potential of a diamond is made under pressure. Can you get through the pressure? Can you handle the pressure? And so I see this kind of going on with you guys. And you know, Uranus in Taurus, Taurus doesn't want to change, right? Taurus is a fixed energy, you're a fixed energy, so you get that. And you know, you guys are dealing with these oppositions to your ascendant. Now Venus is there, so I feel like you got some backup. Okay, so that's good. But ultimately, I do feel like somebody is challenging you publicly, like a public challenge in some way, kind of like Taurus a little bit. So let's go ahead and take a look at the tarot. The Strength in reverse, the Three of Swords. I just heard say it even if your voice shakes. Okay. And then the World. So I like that. So this to me shows me like maybe somebody kind of testing your sense of confidence, testing your pride in some way, and maybe even doing it on purpose. I do feel like there's a little heartache. Okay, it can be you and a partner like deciding, okay, like, are we gonna continue this? You know, are we gonna really continue this relationship? You know, is somebody else getting in the way? Is there like a third party? You know, I could see that happening. I hate to say that, right? But it's possible. And I'm kind of wondering here if this is because Mars also rules your fourth house of home, family, but also your emotions and protecting your emotions. And you may have somebody here who's like challenging you, or God damn, I have that freaking hair on my lip. Somebody is like challenging your emotions, or somebody is emotional, and that, you know, they're challenging you. And so I feel like a little bit of heartbreak here. Now with the World here, I love the World because it shows me that there's some kind of closure. Like, okay, you know, when it's something that's peaceful, like we can end this, or you know, we can figure out how to work through this. We just have to end, you know, this other relationship has to end, or who knows, right? So let's see that Strength in reverse. Okay. So yeah, so is somebody kind of disappointing you? Maybe is somebody challenging you? Maybe somebody else is in their ego. Mars can kind of represent the ego a little bit, but it's like maybe somebody is challenging your sense of ego, or challenging your pride in some way, and kind of making you feel disappointed. But I also feel like it inspires you. It could be something that is inspiring, so it could be an inspiring challenge. Maybe there's somebody here who challenges your sense of beliefs and you inspire them, okay, or vice versa. And so I think that this is really putting kind of a fire up your ass, excuse, or fire under your ass, excuse me, in some way. So while it may be challenging, while it's kind of testing your ego or your boundaries or your pride, I think it's, I don't want to say all in good spirit, but I do think that you are having some kind of breakthrough. So for instance, if somebody is challenging you in some way, I don't think that you're against like maybe seeing that perspective or taking that pain and capitalizing off of it in some way. So kind of turning pain into power. We have the Three of Swords with the Knight of Pentacles, the Moon in reverse. What's the Moon in reverse? The King of Swords in reverse. So, you know, I'm not going to lie. It could be that somebody here is feeling like, damn, like, You know, I've been fucking gaslighted. Like, I've worked on this for so long and I'm being gaslit, or there's something that kind of comes out about you or another person. You know, I'm not trying to like scare you or nothing, but it could be like maybe it's a public legal battle, or, you know, maybe there's some kind of public challenge and you have to hire a lawyer or something like that. But it definitely makes me feel like, yeah, that there's a little bit of pain. But with that Nine of Pentacles, it tells me that that Taurus energy is kind of like slowly but surely just plodding along and working through it, and one foot in front of the other, and that's that, you know. And it's like, what else can you do? But I think that learning to also trust yourself at this time is going to be incredibly important, so that way you can make the right decisions and maneuver in the way that you want to maneuver. Then we have the World with the Hermit in reverse and the Six of Wands. So, I mean, fortune after difficulty is kind of what I'm getting here. You know, it's like eh, you may kind of be licking your wounds this weekend in some way, shape, or form, right? You may be licking your wounds a little bit. You might kind of be taking a back seat. Um, but I feel like it's some kind of success. Like, this is like feeling victorious after really kind of going through it, and people applauding you, and people being like, "Wow, you know, you got Jupiter in your 10th house." It's like your reputation is already expanding in a very positive way. And so I feel like you have people that are cheering you on. So if you think you're alone, I want to say you're not. You know, you still have Venus there in the 7th house, which is warming things up, loving things up. Jupiter in your 10th house, expanding things, giving you some luck in your public career and reputation. So I feel like if you are challenged in some way, I think that you're going to come out just fine, especially with that Six of Wands. You're going to notice that, and you might, especially with all these planets going through your 8th house, right? It's like we're kind of like, you know, especially the sun is there too. The sun is you. So kind of taking a back seat, kind of hiding out a little bit. And then I feel like once we hit that new moon in Pisces on the 10th, which is on Sunday, you're going to be like, okay, I'm ready to start this thing. I'm ready to do this thing. I'm ready to work through these fears. And I see you getting a lot of recognition for that. We have yin. So this is like trusting yourself. This is trusting yourself, like isolation. Oh my God. Your dreams need a practical plan. So I kind of want to say, like, allow this to inspire you. Trust the process. You may be like sitting there having a crisis of faith or really working through some serious fears alone. And then you kind of like maybe have an epiphany, right? That could be what the Ace of Wands is. And you're like, you know what? I don't need to fucking hide. I don't need to hide myself or hide what I believe or hide who I am, you know, and kind of like showing up in the best way possible. And I feel like you're finally at this point of completion with something where you can break free from something that's been holding you back. So Leo, thank you so much. Make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe if you would like to know how this weekend is playing out for you. You can go ahead and book a tarot reading with me at violettaalexis.com. And also, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, Leo. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Hello, Virgo rising, which will be most accurate for your astrology transits, but also Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter placements if you're just looking for the tarot. So, Virgo, obviously, we're going to be talking about the Mars square Uranus transit that is going to be happening this weekend. You're going to feel it really hard on Saturday, but I feel like we're going to be feeling this the entire weekend, even through to Monday, I believe. But definitely most strong on Saturday, I want to say. So, you guys are having Mars transiting your 6th house of day-to-day work, health, routine, pets, your daily habits, and it's going to be squaring Uranus in the 9th house of legalities, foreign travel, third marriages, your faith, mentors, gurus, things like that. I kind of wondering, Mars does rule your 8th house and your 3rd house. So already with Mars ruling your 3rd house and it's in the 6th house, you're really busy right now. I want to say you're really, really busy. You're probably working your ass off, or you're probably working out a lot in the gym, or you're commuting a lot. You know, there are a lot of things that you're doing. Maybe you're working on some kind of writing project for some of you. And it could be with another person, okay, with Mars also ruling the 8th house. But I'm kind of wondering here if for some of you there's some kind of like information you find out about your health where it almost feels like a crisis in faith. Okay, now I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen. Maybe it's just that you have some kind of insights from some kind of guru or mentor that is trying to help you break out of some kind of patterns as well. So you're taking better care of your health, you're focusing more on your body, and you know, you have that stellium going on in the 7th house. So you could be working with a mentor, you could be working with a guru, you could have a partner that's like, hey, don't worry about that. Like, keep the faith, or we can work out together, or it can be something like that. I could also see this as you guys really maybe wanting to take a trip potentially, but feeling like you're just so busy and hunkered down with work, that you just can't, right? That you don't have time for it, and you're just simply trying to break away. I feel like eventually you will, okay, if that is something that you desire. I could also see this as you very much trying to figure out your habitual patterns that you have that are not doing you a service. It could be around intimacy, Mars ruling your eighth house. It could be around other people's money, other people's resources. It could be habits around intimacy, or your fears around intimacy, or just fears or things that you keep hidden, okay? It could be like secrets or something like that. That's really kind of messing with you. But I feel like with that square to Uranus, I feel like there may be somebody here who's trying to challenge you in some way, trying to challenge you, trying to get you to break free of some kind of pattern, or your perspective on the world, your perspective on life. And it can also be somebody here where it's not just like a breakdown, it can be like a complete breakthrough where you finally figure out, maybe it's faith, right? It's the faith that keeps you away from these self-limiting patterns and these terrible habits that are kind of bringing you down in some way and destabilizing you. Now, Venus is there. So, I mean, she's trying to love things up and soften things up a little bit, right? So, it's not all doom and gloom, but you are going to have even more planets going into the seventh house. And I feel like there's going to be a partner here, that is really going to be helping you, or maybe, a therapist of some sort. But for some of you, you could also be having a fight with somebody at a distance, is what I want to say. I'm not really sure like what that's about, but it seems like a pretty like heated conversation between you and another person. Okay. I could definitely see that happening. Okay. So let's go ahead and look at the tarot. Hold on, I gotta be playing my music. Okay. Let's look at the tarot. The Queen of Wands in reverse. Oh, Jesus. The Hangman. Mm. Mm-hmm. And the Eight of Cups. Damn. Well, the Queen of Wands is pissed, right? The Queen of Wands is pretty pissed off. So for some of you, if that's you, you could be really pissed off at this time. And that could be that Mars square Uranus, or maybe you piss somebody else off. This could also be like jealousy, anger, fights. It's Mars. It is Mars. It's Aries energy. So there can be like a fight. Be careful with like fights with coworkers as well. I want to say it could be a feminine energy, but I'm not really feeling that because Mars is more masculine in the workplace. Maybe you're the masculine, but it could be a fight with somebody else that really like pisses you off. But with that Hangman there, like I said, it's something is changing your perspective in some way, or you may feel like you just, with all these planets in Pisces, this is Pisces, you might just need to forgive and forget and kind of let go. And with that Eight of Cups, this is Saturn in Pisces. Saturn is currently in Pisces right now. So there may be this need to kind of walk away from something that just isn't healthy, or something that is a fucking illusion. Mercury conjunct Neptune on Friday. It's like, things are really kind of coming to the surface here, where we're starting to cut through the BS, and we're starting to see through people's BS. Okay. Whether that's you or the BSer or somebody else is, but we all kind of are, right? In one way or another. So the Queen of Wands, ooh, what's that Seven of Swords? The Knight of Swords. Man, oh man, oh man. There could be somebody here who confesses something to you and is honest with you about something that they really regret. They could feel guilty about it. It could be some information that comes out in some way. Okay, Knight of Swords is like, I'm looking for answers, right? And Seven of Swords in reverse is like, okay, well, I'm going to confess this thing to you, and I feel like I'm really going to regret it, or like I am upset that I did this thing, or somebody is upset that they did this thing. And it may be really pissing the other person off, okay? So yeah. What's that Five of Cups? Six of Swords. I wish we could have resolved things differently. Six of Swords is like moving on to calmer waters. Maybe somebody regrets moving on. Maybe somebody's sad that they have to move on. It can be that. Maybe it's issues with long distance relationships. I could see that as well. And then we have the Hangman with the Ten of Cups in reverse and the Two of Wands in reverse. So you know, the hangman is also about patterns, but it's also about how we sabotage ourselves. And it can be our blind spot. It can be like what we didn't expect, what we didn't see coming. And so I don't know if there's a family issue or if there's some kind of breakup or not feeling emotionally supported in some way, but it may be kind of making you like full stop a little bit, and you starting to see life at a different angle, starting to see someone at a different angle, even see yourself at a different angle. And also, the hangman can be about our fears and working through those fears or issues with, you know, maybe addictions or, you know, intimacy or whatever it may be. And maybe even realizing how maybe somebody here is realizing how that contributed to a breakup or how that contributed to, um, you know, something not working out. Then we have the Eight of Cups, the Queen of Cups in reverse, the Two of Swords in reverse. Well, somebody's deciding, it seems like, that they just simply don't trust something. So maybe you're like, you know what? I don't trust this. You know what I'm saying? I don't trust this. I freaking knew it anyway. I'm not here to keep the peace. I just don't trust this, and I deserve better. And you know, I'm kind of feeling like maybe we're breaking free from a long distance relationship. Maybe we're breaking free from an old mentor or guru that we feel like doesn't really align with where it is that we're going, or somebody's perspective that we just simply don't appreciate. And it's like, no, you know, that's not my perspective. That's not what I believe in, you know, and kind of breaking free from that. Aries, trickery. And a fiery climax approaches. Damn, you got double Aries here. So I kind of want to say, like, needing to assert yourself in some way. What's that trickery card? The High Priestess in reverse. Somebody's not telling the truth about something, or they're not telling the full truth, is what I want to say. Now, for some of you, it could be you that's doing that. Okay, keep that in mind. But I feel like, you know, something definitely may, some kind of altercation definitely may take off, and this may be telling you to assert yourself in a way, but also make sure that your anger or you being upset doesn't, you know, run amok, basically. And learning to also trust your intuition, and not just now but the first time, you know what I mean. So, Virgo, thank you so much. Make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not. If you want to figure out how this weekend is playing out for you, you can book a tarot reading with me at violettaalexis.com. Thank you, Virgo, so much. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Hi, Libra. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter placements for the tarot. But if it's for the astrology, make sure you're checking for your rising sign, okay? So for the astrology, for Mars square Uranus, okay? Woo! This is a doozy. I hope I don't have pizza in my teeth. Okay, thank God. So you guys are going to be feeling this the whole weekend, but more prominently on Saturday. We're going to have Mars in your fifth house of dating, sex, romance, fun, taking risks, entrepreneurship, and sense of self-expression. Square Uranus in your eighth house of other people's resources, secrets, fears, change, and transformation. Mars rules your seventh house of one-on-one relationships. So I'm feeling like for some of you, this could be something as simple as somebody wanting to have sex with you. Somebody wanting to have sex with you, and you being like, yeah, no, I don't want that. You know, and it could be like somebody else. It could also be some kind of creative breakthrough that you're having, because Venus is also there. So whatever Venus is doing is what you're doing. So it can just be that you are having some kind of creative breakthrough, especially a breakthrough that helps you with your self-worth and self-value and your sense of self-esteem. Self-esteem, not of steam, bitch. I could definitely see this as, you know, maybe wanting to spend a little bit of money in some way, maybe wanting to spend some money on a partner, but they don't want that. Maybe somebody's trying to spend some money on you. I could see that happening as well. Now, I could also see this as you wanting to like go out there and you wanting to spend money on or a partner does or something like that. But Uranus is like, yeah, no, we don't have it in the budget or we can't do that right now. I could see that happening also. I could also see this as breaking through some kind of fears that maybe you have when it comes to sex, when it comes to intimacy, when it comes to your sense of self-expression and kind of how you're showing up. I'm wondering if you have somebody here who's almost like leading by example. Somebody who's trying to maybe break you out of your shell a little bit, somebody who's trying to break you out of your fears and showing you like just be you, just be authentic, just be yourself. I could see that as well, like somebody kind of encouraging you in some way to do that. So there could be a bit of a learning curve here. And then when we have that new moon that's happening on the 10th, there could be something new that you're working on. Like it could be like letting go of some old habits. If you want to go see your new moon in Pisces video, it's up for members. So you can go check that out and see what's playing out for you specifically. But definitely like letting go of some old habits that keep you from your most divine, authentic, and creative self. So let's go ahead and take a look. Also want to say like be like cautious of like spending too much money as well. Okay, this weekend. Be cautious with that. On like fun and do you know what I'm saying? Just be cautious of that cuz you may be like, "Oh shit." So let's go ahead and take a look. You might not have money for that bill, you know what I'm saying? The 9 of cups, okay. I like that. The King of Cups, damn. And the Knight of Wands in reverse. Well, I mean, I like this. I mean, the Knight of Wands in reverse, not so much, but that's neither here nor there, to be honest, especially with that Nine of Cups and that King of Cups. It tells me that there is somebody here who's either A, in love with you, or somebody who's encouraging you, or somebody who is listening to your hopes, your wishes, your dreams. I think that with that Nine of Cups, there's something that you want, but there's something also standing in the way, which could be fears. A need for you to change, a need for you to change the way that you express yourself, even if that's just not being Mrs. Nice guy or Mr. Nice Guy anymore, and like breaking free of that and being like, this is how I really feel, or this is who I really am, etc. And with that Knight of Wands in reverse, I'm not really sure what that's about yet. I mean, that could definitely represent like trying to get attention in weird ways, or not really having a sense of direction. But I feel like somebody's going to kind of put you on the map, or somebody's going to help you with that. We have the Nine of Cups with the Three of Pentacles in reverse and the Five of Wands in reverse. Interesting. Excuse me. So I feel like right now maybe you're pretty content this weekend. Or there's something that you could really want, but you could be like, oh, well, a partner doesn't want that. Or, and Libras, you can very much be very focused on what my partner wants or what other people think of me, or, what's good for us, not necessarily what's good for me. And I think that maybe you have somebody here who's like disagreeing with how you're going about something, or disagreeing with you actually not going after something at all, and needing to break those patterns, or you just wanting to kind of back down and cower in silence because of somebody else's opinion of you. I think that that's probably not your best bet. Of course, am I telling you to start fights during this time? Absolutely not. But I kind of want to say, just because somebody doesn't like it, or just because somebody doesn't agree with something that makes you feel good on an individual level, that's neither here nor there. Okay. Then we have the King of with the Empress and the Eight of Pentacles. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I feel like somebody's got your back is what this looks like. It feels like there's somebody here who thinks the world of you, thinks that you are just the fucking creme de la creme. You are the shit. You are perfection. The Eight of Pentacles is Sun in Virgo. If anybody knows about perfection, it's a Sun in Virgo, right? And then that Empress is you. That's you. So this is your sense of sovereignty, and your sense of self-worth and self-value, which is also Mars for you. Okay? Mars represents your second house of self-worth and self-value, and you may have somebody here who is actually encouraging you to see that within yourself. And so I think it would be wise to listen to this person, whoever it is. I could see for some of you, you may be getting ready to work on a project with another person. Especially, like I said, you guys are having that new moon that's going to happen in the sixth house. It could be that you're working on projects with other people. But there's something that you have to let go of, okay? And only you are really going to know what that is. Then we have the Knight of Wands in reverse with the King of Wands and the Six of Cups. So, To be honest, if there's like masculine energy in your life that is a healthy masculine energy, or maybe you're the masculine energy, I would lean on that. There could be somebody here who is helping you maneuver through your sense of self expression, your sense of self worth, your sense of validity. And it could be somebody that you already know, but I think that this person, whoever this is, may think the world of you and is trying to help you with the direction that you're trying to go in. Okay. So we have house 11. Okay. Growth. Love that. And then emotions are running high. Interesting. It could be that somebody's trying to partner up with you in some way, and it could be like a friend. Maybe you're a little apprehensive to that. Maybe it's something that's intimate, maybe not, you know. But it could also be that you are having trouble with a partner, maybe, or maybe somebody else being able to be their most authentic self, and them needing to change in some way to better express themselves emotionally and freely to you. I could see that happening. This is kind of telling you to lean on friends at this time, or it could be telling you that there is an absolute chance for growth here when it comes to your dreams, when it comes to community, when it comes to other people, and needing to see that. Do I think that, there's going to be some emotional conversations? Yeah, most likely. It could be over money. Keep that in mind. It could be over money. It could be, coming together on some kind of project. It could be intimacy. So all of that is going to be kind of be at the forefront for you, Libra. But I feel like you're going to be just fine. I also feel like you have a lot of help from masculine energies in your life. So Libra, thank you so much. Make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not. If you want to know how this weekend may be playing out for you, you can book a personal reading with me at violetaalexis.com. Thank you so much, Libra. I hope that you have the best weekend ever, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye for now. Hello, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter placements for the tarot. But for astrology, make sure you're looking for your rising sign, because that will be most accurate for the astrology portion. You can still stick around for the tarot portion, okay? So, Scorpio, this very much involves you. You guys are ruled by Mars, co-ruled by Mars. So, whatever Mars is doing is essentially what you're doing for the most part. You have Mars in Aquarius in your fourth house of home and family, and it's going to be squaring Uranus in the seventh house of partnerships, clients, your marketplace. To me, I feel like you are trying to potentially, if you're in a partnership, I could see you trying to figure out how you're going to get the person that you're in a partnership with to live with you, or you live with them. They may not be so like keen to the idea. Um you could be if there's like a long distance relationship, or if it's just that time, or it could also be that there could be some issues between family members and between like a partner or somebody that you're dealing with. I could absolutely see that happening as well. I see there being a little bit of conflict between you and another person, and you may be feeling like, or you trying to get that person to break out of their comfort zone or kind of come out of their shell a little bit. And I don't know if this is like you just starting to date somebody, or if this is somebody you've been with for a while, but it seems like you're having a hard time like getting this person to change, or getting this person to come see you, or it's like you keep trying to push for it, and there's a little bit of a fight there. And it could just be that you're trying to get somebody to like help you around the house, right? It's like Mars ruling your sixth house. It's like you could be really busy, in the home, trying to fix things up, trying to, and it's like you need help, or maybe for some of you, you're trying to help a partner or help some kind of family member as well, because they need it. They need help in the home. I could see that also. So, yeah. So let's go ahead and pull the tarot and see kind of what's going on here. Alrighty. The Page of Cups. Well, this is making me think of that new moon in Pisces that's happening. The Four of Swords in reverse and the Six of Pentacles. A little bit of give and take, I want to say, is going to go a long way. This is making me think of the new moon. I feel like you're trying to initiate something, maybe with a client, or maybe you're trying to offer something to someone, or maybe you're trying to get down to the bottom of something with someone else, or you're trying to get somebody to break out of their habit, whatever that is. Maybe they're afraid of love. Maybe they're afraid of intimacy. I mean, fuck, I don't know, right? But to me, it's like maybe you're actually trying to offer something, even trying to offer your friendship or whatever. But, it may be stressing you out because this person's stressed out, or, um, um, maybe you are feeling like this person is having a hard time getting over trauma, or getting over an old breakup, or getting over some mental issues or something like that. And, it's like you still keep trying to give, I do think that with Jupiter there, in your seventh house, I do feel like there's somebody here who's very beneficial to you. And that may be why you are so very much trying to fight for it. It feels like you're trying to fight for a relationship of some sort. So let's see. The 10 of Wands in reverse and the Tower in reverse. It could be somebody that you don't want to let go. I could see that happening as well. I could definitely see that. You could be wanting, you could be feeling like somebody is not like showing up authentically, or is not, maybe somebody's trying to break free from you. It can be, and maybe you not wanting to really let go of that, and feeling like it's something that you don't want to lose out on, or it's someone that you don't want to lose out on, and you could be literally fighting for it, for some of you. Okay, or maybe somebody's doing that for you, it to you. It can be that. But your Uranus and Taurus is stubborn as fuck, right? It's like Uranus is asking Taurus to change. I'm a Taurus rising, Taurus moon, so I got y'all in my seventh house. But Taurus is incredibly stubborn, and Taurus is, unless they have a lot of mutable placements, and it can be very hard to get Taurus to change or to budge. Very stubborn. Putting Uranus in Taurus is like, trying to get the bull to move with a leash, and like they're just digging their heels in further. So it can kind of feel like, I'm losing, I'm losing my fucking mind here. It could definitely feel like that. So. Let's see. The Sun in reverse, the Page of Wands. You maybe you're trying to encourage somebody. Maybe you're trying to encourage somebody. Maybe you're trying to help somebody get out of a rut. Maybe you're trying to help this person see things more optimistically, or, who knows. But it's like maybe they're second guessing themselves, or because of their response to you, you're starting to second guess yourself. I will say that, here in on Sunday, we're gonna have a new moon in Pisces. Okay, and so that's going to be in your fifth house, and that's going to be all about love. It can all be all about love and joy, and you feeling like, this is how I express myself. This is how it is. Maybe it's the way that you're expressing yourself emotionally that this person doesn't like. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, but Neptune is going to ask us, what do we need to let go of, or what do we need to sacrifice in order to let this other thing in? And maybe it is this person, maybe it's somebody else. Who knows? But I feel like you're about to have a lot more joy in your life. It's just like kind of getting over this little hurdle real quick. Okay. Like getting over this hurdle. And it can also be, keep in mind, it can be an emotional breakthrough potentially, with a partner. I don't say that because Mars is in your fourth house. And while I know Aquarius isn't a super emotional sign, it's still the fourth house. So it's about your needs and what you need to feel comfortable, and maybe expressing that to somebody, and them kind of being like, well, this is what I need to feel comfortable, right? Your honest rules your fourth. And so there can kind of be a little bit of a wish-washy energy. And, either you're going to let go of that, or you're going to keep on plugging. Okay. I could also see this as you just having an argument with a client. Okay. Or some kind of parent, or some kind of family member as well. So keep that in mind. Then we have the Six of Pentacles, Ace of Cups in reverse, and the Queen of Swords in reverse. Well, this is making me feel like sometimes, it doesn't matter how much you try to put into someone or whatever. It's like sometimes people just aren't ready. I want to say, like, be careful of, and maybe somebody's doing this to you, but it seems like somebody's trying to offer something, and there's someone else here who's like, no, like very very cold, very upset, very angry, very overly emotional. So I don't know if that's you or someone else. Pisces. The new moon in Pisces. Routine. And don't let your past hold you back. Well, Mars does rule your sixth house of work and routine. Pisces is the opposite of the 12th house, not in your chart, maybe depending on what placement you are, but not for Scorpio rising. But Pisces is the opposite of Pisces is the 12th house, and then the opposite of the 12th house is the 6th house. So I'm wondering if there's some old like habits that you need to kind of break free from for some of you when it comes to how you're approaching relationships and how you're essentially sabotaging yourself, and how those past issues are, um a, a direct reflection of what's happening now, and the way that you're expressing yourself, the way that you're communicating, and maybe even potentially needing to learn to be more compassionate and empathetic. Not saying that you're not, okay? Or maybe it's somebody else that you're dealing with. I'm just saying, okay? So thank you so much, Scorpio. Make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not. If you would like to kind of get a look in to see what may be transpiring for you this weekend, you can always book a personal reading with me at violetaalexis.com. Obviously, all of that information will be available in the description box below. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you have an absolutely wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now. Hey, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter placements. However, if you're looking just for the astrology alone, make sure that you're looking out for your rising sign. However, you can still watch for your other placements for the tarot, okay? So, Sagittarius, how you doing? Obviously, we're going to be talking about the Mars square Uranus transit that is occurring this weekend. You're going to feel it the most on Saturday, but I feel like we're going to be feeling this all the way through to Monday. So Mars is in your third house of trips, travel, vehicle. This can be like running errands, going through the neighborhood. This can be like working out, locally, maybe running around in your neighborhood, or working out with a sibling, or working out with some kind of family member, especially with that square to Uranus. If you guys have had any like issues surrounding your health, or if you're getting some kind of news about your health, I think that you're trying to figure out the best way that you can have fun while still taking care of your health as well, and trying to work through that crises, or trying to work through those health issues. I could also see this as potentially some kind of like news that comes out of nowhere, coming from a younger person, or a conversation coming from a child, that could be about work or health, or some kind of issue kind of going on. The sixth house isn't always the best, right? But I could kind of see that happening as well, and it could be like a very heated discussion between you and a coworker, or you and a child. The way that you're expressing yourself. Um I'm kind of feeling like, I mean Venus is there. So Venus is there in the third house with Mars, and she's kind of like trying to love things up. And so Venus ruling your 11th house, maybe you got a friend there that's just kind of like trying to have your back, or trying to talk you through something. I could also see this as like maybe a car breakdown. Ugh, I hate to say that. It can be that, especially if you're trying to get like from one place to the next, and it's like Mars square Uranus, boom, Saturday, Sunday, whatever it is, your car shits the bed, excuse my French, right? And you're like, oh God, But I could also see this as you and a child. If you and a child, or you and a younger person have been on the outs, maybe you're the younger person, I can see this, really needing to break some habits, or break out of an old way of maybe doing things that is not healthy, like maybe in the way that you express yourself, or something. It's something like that. And so it could be a very heated discussion between you and another person. And then I feel like it is something with family potentially, because when we have that new moon happening in your fourth house of home and family, this is some kind of new beginning, and needing to kind of humble ourselves in some way, or maybe, maybe it's with a parent. I don't know, maybe you're not the one flipping out, maybe somebody else is, but I feel like now we're having to kind of apologize, or we're having to forgive, or something like that, in order to have this new start, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look. So my cards are going to switch out here. Keep that in mind. We have the Four of Wands in reverse. So home and family, not feeling welcomed. Somebody else not feeling welcome in your life, and something changing with that. Something ultimately changing with that Hierophant there. I mean, that's Taurus, right? So it's like, changing our habits. This can also be standing on our morals and our values. And I like the Hierophant here, because it tells me that we're learning something, or we're teaching someone else something. So let's go ahead and take a look here. All right. the Four of Wands in reverse with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse and the Justice. So I feel like we're definitely trying to make something right, or someone else maybe trying to make something right with us. You know, that Four of Wands in reverse not feeling welcome due to some kind of missed opportunity or something that essentially didn't work out. And now it's like, okay, how can we apologize? Or maybe this person is coming to apologize. I feel like there's some kind of apology or finally something being like set right is what I want to say. And then I feel like we're going to see the works of that starting on that new moon on Sunday. So I feel like something in regards to a home or a family situation is being set right. And for some of you, maybe it's that you're trying to move. Okay, I could see that happening as well. Or maybe you're trying to hire somebody. I could see that. Maybe you just don't have time to relax and you need to hire somebody to help you with errands and help you with things. And finally, maybe you find that perfect person that just helps you out, balances your life a little bit, right? So you can focus more on other things that are important to you. Then I see that Death card with the King of Wands. Could be like a death of the ego through some kind of conversation. And it could be with a masculine figure in your life. Keep that in mind. Or you could be the masculine figure. But regardless, the King of Wands is like our sense of confidence. It can be our ego, etc. Maybe for some of you, things are changing with someone in your life, you know. And with that Death card, I mean, things have to end so something new can blossom and bloom and begin again and be refreshed. And I think that there's some kind of discussion. People are expressing themselves. You and somebody else are having a conversation, but it's positive. It's in the end, it's for positive transformation. Some of you could be planning a trip as well. Knight of Swords and the Nine of Cups. Well, I love this because it looks like maybe there are some heated words, especially with that square to Uranus. There are some heated words. There are some things that we find out. There are some things that we express about our morals and our values and what it is that we believe in and what's right. Finding contentment at the end of the day, finding peace. Jupiter and Pisces, this is Jupiter and Pisces. Jupiter and Pisces is compassion. It's compassion and it's forgiveness and it's understanding. And so I feel like you and somebody else are like reaching that point. Uranus is the advice with gifts, and you're very close to achieving your goal. Well, I will say this, for some of you, it could be a project that you're trying to work on. And I want to say, if so, you have some kind of gift for something. Maybe it's writing with Mars in the third house, right? Maybe it's speaking, maybe it's communicating, maybe you should have a podcast. I don't know. It can be something like that. And it could be telling you to kind of break out of your shell a little bit, but you're needing to break out of these old habits or old paradigms that you've been living in that hasn't been really benefiting you in any way, and that you're close to achieving your goal. It's like you just have to work that Uranus energy, and so I feel like once you work through the Uranus energy, I feel like the gifts will come, or you will be able to see your gifts more clearly if that's what it is. So thank you so much, Sagittarius. Make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you would like to know how this is going to be playing out for you for this weekend, you can visit my website at violettaalexis.com and book a tarot reading with me there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate you, and I hope that you have the best day. Bye. Hey Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter placements. However, look for your rising sign if you are looking for the astrology. Okay, so obviously we're going to be talking about Mars square Uranus, and this is a big one. You guys are going to be feeling this the full weekend. I even think until Monday. And feeling it definitely on Saturday, I think will be most potent for everybody. You guys are going to have Mars in your second house of the money that you spend, the money that you make, your self-worth, your self-value, and it's going to come into a square with Uranus in your fifth house of fun, pleasure, joy, children, romance, etc. Mars in your second house rules your 11th house, also rules your fourth house. I'm wondering if there's money that you want to spend, right? Money that you're trying to spend on like fun and friends and going out and having a good time, or maybe there's some money that you're needing to pay when it comes to home, or maybe you're trying to purchase a home or something like that. And with that square to Uranus in the fifth, you could have like a child that wants to borrow money, okay, or like a younger person that needs you, or it's like maybe you're trying to go out and do the things that, spend some money and have fun or whatever it is. But, maybe you could feel like a child needs you at this time or is trying to kind of pick your pocketbook a little bit. I could also see this as you guys kind of getting to this point where you're really tired of a certain way of making money, and you may want to start focusing on like bigger aspirations or bigger dreams and maybe another stream of income or something like that. And maybe you're too afraid to take the risk. You're too afraid to, with that square to Uranus on the fifth, you're too afraid to break out and do something different or do something creative or make money from a creative way because you're so used to doing what it is that you've done. Well, Pluto's already there, baby, so Pluto's going to change and transform the way that you're making money and also how you feel about yourself. And I feel like the more that you express yourself, even the more that you express yourself in a friend group or online or in your family, um the better that you're going to feel, the more esteem you're going to have, the more self-worth and self-value that you're going to have. And so I could definitely see this as you guys trying to kind of have a breakthrough. And for some of you, you could have a breakthrough. And for some of you, you could also have a breakthrough with a child as well. Okay, that could be it. But let's go ahead and take a look at these cards. The Ace of Cups in reverse, the Nine of Pentacles, okay, and the Wheel of Fortune. So yeah, it's like going with it. You know what I mean? Feeling that sense of independence, feeling financially stable, or at least trying to, feeling good enough. This is Venus and Virgo, and this can be about like feeling good enough to know that you deserve things, that you deserve to buy that thing. Maybe that's what you want to do. Maybe you really want to buy something, but you're too afraid to take the risk because you don't feel like you're worth it enough. Well, Venus is there as well, trying to tell you like you are. Now, am I telling you that if you have like $5 in your bank account to go spend your last four? No, that's not what I'm saying. But there's something here where it's asking you to take a risk because you are worth it. Okay. So, Ace of Cups in reverse with the Queen of Cups and the Hierophant in reverse. Well, that's just making me think of that square to Uranus and Taurus, really. There could be something that is that you very much love, that you very much have a lot of love for, but once again, afraid to take the risk. Maybe it's a person, maybe it's a person. Maybe for some of you, you keep trying to buy somebody else's love and you're just realizing like it's not working. You know what I mean? It can be that as well, and realizing that you shouldn't have to do that and you don't need to do that in order to be loved. Or trying too hard or whatever the case is. And so I think you guys are getting ready to learn something here. I don't want to say for better or for worse because I think learning something is always for the better. And learning to love yourself as well. The Ace of Cups in reverse isn't always a lack of vulnerability. I see the Queen of Cups is in the upright. So this tells me that there may be a little bit of self-love first before there's mutual love between you and another, or mutual love that's shared between you and another person. And I could see this as maybe you and somebody else really not being on the same page with what that means or what that is, or maybe it's like a difference in love language, but I see that there's some kind of mutual respect or love here. So that's going to go a long way. Then we have the Nine of Pentacles, the Three of Wands in reverse, and the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, feeling like a lackluster. This is like feeling like, oh, I don't deserve these things, or being frustrated because it's like you want to be able to enjoy yourself more. You want to be able to have a little bit of fun. You want to be able to do those things. But it's like, oh, sorry, honey, we don't have it in the bank. It's like, well, in what other ways can you enjoy yourself in life? Maybe if it's not about spending money, or if you have like a partner, for instance, who you always spend money on and now you want to buy something for yourself and they're like, no, you can't do that. Or it's like, well, F you. You know what I mean? Like, obviously don't say that, but you know what I'm saying? And so I feel like you are going to find other ways to show yourself that you're worth it and that you love you, and that's it. And I think that you guys are going to potentially end up expressing yourself and putting your foot down in a way where it's like, I deserve this, or I am worthy, or I am valuable. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune, Queen of Wands, and the Seven of Swords. So this is feeling very confident in oneself. feeling very confident in oneself. And also, with that Wheel of Fortune, just kind of letting go of the wheel and rolling with the punches and seeing fortunate events happen because you stood up for yourself, or you kind of took the lead in a situation. And I feel like you are looking after another with that Seven of Swords. I feel like you're looking after another person. It's not just about you, but you're taking the lead, is what it feels like in a situation. So I like it. Fire, of course. Perspective. A time to give rather than take. How interesting. So maybe it's you that needs to give. Maybe somebody wants more time with you. Maybe somebody wants your friendship. Maybe somebody wants to spend more time. This is about feeling inspired and seeing something from another person's point of view, and giving of yourself freely without expectation, of a return on that. Okay, that doesn't mean accept less than what you deserve. That's not what I'm saying. But when it comes to the people that we love, sometimes we need to kind of humble ourselves a little bit. You know what I mean? Not like in a bad way, but it could also be like needing some kind of creative spark and needing to change the way you perceive having fun, or changing something in your life that's going to give you that inspirational spark and then share it with the world. So thank you so much, Capricorn. Make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you would like to figure out how this almost said new moon, how this transit may be playing out for you, you can visit me at violetaalexis.com and book a tarot reading with me. Thank you guys so much, and I hope that you have a blessed weekend, Capricorn. Talk to you soon. Bye for now. Hello, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter placements. However, if you are looking just for the astrology alone, make sure that you're checking for your rising sign. Obviously, we're going to be talking about Mars square Uranus that is transpiring this weekend. You guys are definitely going to feel it the most on Saturday, and then we're going to have a new moon in Pisces on Sunday. So it's a packed weekend. I think that we're going to feel this Mars square Uranus all the way through to Monday, but it's going to be most potent, I believe, on Saturday. So, you guys obviously have Mars in your sign, okay? You guys have Mars in your first house of self, your physical body, the way that you assert yourself, your drive, your motivation. With Mars there in the first, you guys are feeling very motivated at this time, either in regards to career or status or reputation, whether that's regarding career or romance. And with that square to Uranus in the fourth house, Mars rules your third house and your 10th. And so with that Mars ruling your third house, this can be like the way that we're communicating. So having your third house ruler or lord in the first house, it's being very communicative or focusing a lot on writing, okay? Or maybe wanting to, take some trips, go out in the neighborhood here and there. However, it is communication, and it is also the way that we think. And I want to say, be cautious of how you are asserting yourself with Mars this weekend. Mars in your first house can make you a little angsty. It can make you a little touchy, a little squirrely, and a little aggressive and assertive. And while there's nothing wrong with being assertive, it could kind of blow out of control, potentially with a family member or with a partner that maybe lives in the home, or with somebody else here. Now, technically, we have a Uranus obviously being you, which is in your fourth house. For some of you, it could be something as simple as wanting to move, don't know where to go. Mars in the first, Mars ruling the third. This could be you looking in the newspaper, going out in the neighborhood, seeing where it is that maybe you want to move, maybe looking online, seeing like, oh, maybe I could, maybe you want to move out of state, or maybe you want to move across the country. I have no idea. But I definitely see there being some like where do I want to lay my hat? And there could be something about like your career having a very big impact on that. Okay, so maybe you have a job in New York and you're like, oh shit, like can I live in New York? It can be something like that. But I feel like you are willing. I feel like you are willing, and I feel like you are able. And it could also be that for some of you, there may be like a boss who's kind of on your ass about getting back to work, or a boss who's on your ass and you're trying to like relax, you're trying to be at home. Or you could have a superior that's like, hey, like, are you going to move, what's going on? And you may be kind of like feeling like, oh, like a little aggravated in some way, and you may kind of flip out on somebody. Because of it, I could also see this as being having conflicts with family members, having conflicts with parents, because we have your 10th and your fourth house involved. So this can be mother and father figures as well. So keep that in mind. And this is also happening on an angular house. So this is very much going to affect you directly with, Mars being in your sign. And so it may be that you're trying to assert yourself in some way, or maybe that you're trying to look for another place to live. This could also be having like a breakthrough of some sort. Maybe you're having a breakthrough of where you want to live, or you're having a breakthrough with a family member. You're having a breakthrough about your past, being like, holy shit, and like realizing a lot of things about your past and like how you grew up and why you are the way that you are. And you have Venus there. So Venus is trying to love up on you a little bit, trying to make things a little bit sweeter. And then you're going to have a new moon that's happening on Sunday, which is going to be in your second house of your self worth, your self value, and also money that you're making. And it could be that you guys are changing jobs or getting some kind of job or finding another stream of income, or maybe you have to move, or you're going to need some family things are going to change, some home dynamic things are going to change, some partner things are going to change. And that's that. Okay. So let's go ahead and pull the tarot. What smells so good? Oh, yeah. I forgot I was wearing cinnamon roll body oil. Like, damn, I want to eat myself. Okay. Damn, the Emperor. Come on now. Mars ruling your 10th, the 5 of Wands. And the 6 of Cups. For some of you, you could be wanting to move for a partner, or a partner wanting to move with you. Hold on, I gotta play my music in my headphones, y'all. Okay. I feel like you guys are in power or getting ready to really be in a position of power, very much asserting yourselves, coming out on top. And being a part of something bigger, or being that big thing, being the big honcho in some way. Mars in your sign, Mars ruling your 10th. Hello. You guys are very much like not about the bullshit. And I feel like somebody is, though. I feel like you got somebody is I feel like you got somebody is. I feel like you got somebody that could be about the bullshit. Somebody who's trying to start arguments with you, or maybe somebody who's rebelling in some kind of way. However, this could just be brainstorming about where it is that you want to live, or what it is that you're trying to do for a career. Okay, I could see that as well. And then with that 6 of Cups, I feel like there's a little bit of love here. Venus showing you a little bit of love. Could be a friend or a partner, or somebody here who's softening things. The Emperor with the 7 of Pentacles in reverse, and the Knight of Cups. It's almost like I don't have time for bad investments. I don't have bad time. I don't have time for bad emotional investments either. I don't have time to be moody. I don't have time to fuck around. When Mars comes in the first house, this is very much like we're about our business, and we're not taking any prisoners because we don't care. It's kind of like you're very about your business, and you're not going to waste time on petty BS. Is what this looks like to me. And so this is it could be just like a fight with you and yourself. You know what I mean? Like you've been like, you know what? I got to put that shit in the back burner. I'm not even going to look at that. Like I have other things I got to worry about, and that's it. So very much like taking the reins on something. Then we have the 5 of Wands with the 6 of Swords in reverse, and the 3 of Cups. Very interesting. Hmm. Hmm. I wonder. You could have like an argument with somebody, like with a friend potentially. You can have an argument with, because Jupiter is also in your fourth house. Jupiter rules your 11th, but I don't know. I don't think that that's it. It seems like you and another person, it just could be like trying to resolve an old problem that's been kind of hanging around for a while. And it could just be essentially brainstorming. You and somebody else, I feel like this is somebody that you have camaraderie with. So I don't know if this is a partner, I don't know if this is a friend or whatever it is, but it just feels like we're solving a problem. What's the problem? The Judgment, trying to make some kind of big decision in regards to your higher calling. Now, this is Scorpio, which can be your 10th house, right? So, this can be your higher calling, your legacy, your status out in the world, and what you're going to do about it. How do you need to move to get this job? Do you need to go to New York where the opportunities are bigger, or California, or, what is it? So, I could see that happening. I don't feel like this 5 of Wands is that bad. I just feel like, because you have the 3 of Cups here in the upright, so it's like, how do we come together, or how do we make this happen, or it's just like brainstorming to me. Then we have the Six of Cups with the King of Swords. Well, there you are. And the Ten of Pentacles. So about your legacy. This could be about children. You know, maybe you guys are deciding that you want to start a family. Okay. Maybe you're deciding that you finally want to start a family, or, you know, maybe you are having somebody here who you're trying to take care of, or somebody trying to take care of you in some kind of way. And it seems like you're really going after something. It could be like a big dream that you've had, you know, and this could be like a blessing from the universe. It seems to me like you're having a blessing from the universe, which is helping you make some kind of decision in regards to where you see yourself in 10 years, where you see yourself in the next 20 years. Then we have fixed for your advice. We have risk. Well, fixed energy is Taurus, right? And you as well. And Uranus is in Taurus, and Uranus is about risks. So the energy is gaining momentum. So I kind of feel like this is about needing to make a decision sooner than later. And I think instead of just like sitting around and marinating on it, I kind of want to say you need to get moving. I really think it's just that simple, Aquarius. Okay. So thank you so much. Make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you would like to know how this may be playing out for you for this weekend, you can book a tarot reading with me at violettaalexis.com. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Talk soon. Bye for now. Hey Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter placements. But most accurately, if you're looking for the astrology portion, make sure that you're checking for your rising sign. For the tarot, you can watch for every other placement, okay? So obviously, you guys, we're going to be talking about the Mars square Uranus that is occurring this weekend. It's going to be most prominent on Saturday, but I think that we're going to be feeling this all the way through Monday, maybe even Tuesday. And so keep that in mind. So with Pisces rising, you guys are going to be having Mars in your 12th house. So this is of the unknown. This is of the past. This is where we, you know, go to let go. This is where we go to be alone. This is our, you know, self-sabotaging ways and our bad mental patterns. And then we're going to have a square to Uranus in the 3rd house. Now, Uranus rules your 12th house, and it's in the 3rd. And so I'm feeling like with that Mars square Uranus, I'm really feeling like this is you guys needing to break out of old patterns that have a lot to do with how you think, but not just how you think about yourself. Mars rules your 2nd house of your self-worth and your self-value. And this can very much be about how you think about yourself and how your past has affected how you think about yourself, and how that is no longer fitting into where you are now. You guys have a huge stellium in your 1st house. You got the sun there. You know, on the 9th, you'll have the moon in your 1st house. You have Saturn there, Neptune, you know, you have Mercury there. You have all of these planets there. So you already have so much going on top of this. It's almost like just asking you like one last push. One last push and you got it in the bag. So what is that thing? This could also be about having spiritual or creative breakthroughs. So, this could be about working on something alone behind the scenes, maybe something that's very therapeutic for you, something that really helps you with your mental health in some way. This could be some kind of writing project. I could see you having like a creative breakthrough as well, or having some kind of spiritual breakthrough that makes you have this epiphany like, holy fuck, I can't believe I thought about it in this way for so long, or whatever the case may be. So then you guys are going to have a new moon in your 1st house. So I feel like this is the final push, you know what I mean, before you really break out of your shell, or before an old version of you starts to shed. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the tarot. We have the Star in reverse. We have the Hermit. There's that isolation. And we have the Two of Pentacles in reverse. So needing to heal something, needing to find that direction again, needing to find that sense of hope. And I feel like you're the one that's holding the fucking light. You know, excuse my language. You would think Mars is in my 1st house today. And I feel like you guys are realizing a lot about you. And the thing about the Hermit is that he holds the star. Like the star card that's reversed right now for your 1st card, he holds the star there, but he keeps looking for it, not realizing that he has it in him. It is him. He has it, right? He's had it the whole time. The call is coming from inside the house, you know? I mean, with this Two of Pentacles in reverse, this may be making you feel like, you know what? I need to drop that shit. I need to drop that way of thinking, or whatever it may be. So with that star there, we have the Page of Wands and the Sun in reverse. To me, this is making me feel like even though your voice is shaky, or even though you may doubt some things, or you're having a hard time healing a certain part of yourself, or you kind of feel like you've lost your way, I think that you're taking a step forward in the right direction anyway, even if you're afraid, or you don't know, or you don't know how things are going to go. This to me is you guys taking that first step anyway, and that's that. And it's you guys keeping the faith. And I feel like you guys keeping the faith is going to go a long way, or a little bit of faith is going to go a long way. Now, of course, this could be like, some of you could be traveling. Okay, keep that in mind. Ninth house, third house. It could definitely be a lot. And excuse me, because anyway, so yeah, 12th house, ninth house, third house. This can be like short distance travel or long distance travel as well. And then we have the Hermit here with the Tower. Yeah, there's Mars. There's Mars twice. Damn. So a lot of things are dying. A lot of, once again, old things that you've been holding on to, old patterns about yourself, you're becoming more aware of. And it could be because there are times where, yes, you may be out and about, sun in your first house, Mercury in your first, you're busy, 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 busy. You got a lot of stuff going on. But in those moments alone, I think is where a lot of the work is actually being done. And you're going to break free from a lot of these patterns and allow yourself to essentially change. And then when you have that new moon in your first house, honey, or in your sign, is a motherfucking wrap. Okay. Then we have the Two of Pentacles in reverse with the Six of Wands in reverse and the Ace of Wands in reverse. I'm kind of getting like this is a sense of you not being motivated by needing to be liked anymore. I don't know why I'm getting that. I'm kind of getting like, I don't fucking care, if these motherfuckers like me. I don't really care what they think. I don't need the validation. I don't need the pat on the back. I'm good. You know what I mean? And I feel like that has a lot to do with the stellium in your first house. We have air for your advice with distraction, and you are good enough. So knowing that you are good enough, and I said before that Mars rules your second house of self-worth and self-value. So understanding that and not letting maybe what other people say deter you from that vision that you have of yourself, or knowing that you're worth a damn, or knowing that you're worth a shit, right? And keeping the faith that you are. So, Pisces, thank you so much. Make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you would like to know how this may be playing out for you this weekend, you can go ahead and book a tarot reading with me at violettaalexis.com. And I want to say thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that you have an excellent weekend. Until next time, bye for now.